is the Community Development Authority, and Abby, can you help me with the call to, I'll do the call to order. Today is April 11th, 2024. It's 5:30 p.m. Can we do roll call, Abby?
Yes. Bedingfield?
Here.
Crow?
Here.
Nelson?
Here.
Lori? Here. Wakely?
Present.
Oaks? Kari,
Okay,
are you there?
Oh.
I don't think Kari has been able to connect yet. Chris Weber is absent and excused, and Mayor Kuhn is present.
Great. Thank you so much. Next is the approval of minutes for the CDA of February 22nd. Is there any changes or additions? Hearing none, I will accept the minutes. Moving on to agenda items, the financial reports is to start. And Abby, asking for a little background.
Yes, so the only changes since the last financial report that you received at your February 22nd meeting is that we did get a transfer in on our investment income of $4,500. We also spent quite a bit of money on snow removal because it was a lot of little snowfalls, and they clear the snow and then they also have to salt each time. So we've spent 91% of our annual budget so far for snow removal. So everybody keep your fingers crossed that it does not snow in December or we're in trouble or anymore this year, this spring. For senior center building maintenance, we had a small expenditure, $112, and that's for that quarterly contract that we had in place for the window washing. But I did cancel that contract. They said that we had still prepaid, so we would get one more under that contract and then we're done. And then we also had some expenses in banners and holiday lights and landscape maintenance. But I think those were the only items that changed since the 2/22 meeting.
Thank you so much for that update. Moving on to agenda item number 2, request for CDA event sponsorship assistance for $4,000. National Mustard Day, National Mustard Museum, August 3rd, 2024. And before we hear background, I just want to say so excited for that downtown event.
Okay, should I be on now?
Sure, please do.
Okay, anyway, thank you for your support of Mustard Day over the many years we have been in Middleton. We always draw large crowds. It's a free event with live music, great food, games for kids of all ages, and of course, lots of mustard. What's different this year is that we have hired a gentleman by the name of Eric Salzwedel from Intentional Purpose Consultant. He is, how should I say, an event coordinator extraordinaire. He has put on Bratfest for many, many years. So that should tell you something about Eric. We're also looking at a mustard family reunion on Mustard Day weekend. Well, you probably are going to ask, what is a mustard family reunion? Well, it's a reunion of people whose last name is Mustard. And we did it when we were in Mount Horeb, and it was great. There are a lot of people whose last name is Mustard. There really is. In fact, just last week, I spoke to Alan Mustard. Alan Mustard is retired now, but he was the U.S. ambassador to Turkmenistan, and he visited the Mustard Museum 2 years ago, and he's very excited about the possibility of a Mustard family reunion. And that would bring a lot of people to the Good Neighbor City. I think you know the museum itself is separate from the gift shop. It is a 501c3 nonprofit, and as you can imagine, putting on Mustard Day is very expensive, and we do need your help in making this the best mustard day ever. So if there are some questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Does anyone have any questions? You can just go ahead. Katie, I might fall off in 2 or 3 minutes, so you can take over.
Great. I just had a question maybe for Abby. Abby, what did we provide as far as funds for the mustard days last year? And maybe the last 2 years if you have it available.
We did 2,000, and that's been, I think, consistent now over the last 2 years because the overall event sponsorship budget annually was reduced to 7,500, and that was when we brought on our Stonehorse Green coordinator. And so I know last year you decided to keep it 2,000 for mustard, 2,000 for Strollin, and 2,000 for Art Walk, so that they were the same.
Has Art Walk already requested?
Yes, they received 2,000. And that is the only amount that's been allocated out of that budget line item so far this year. So there's $5,500 remaining.
And Strollin hasn't requested anything yet?
They have not.
Can I ask Abby, because they're looking at more activities this year, can they also ask our tourism director because of that reunion planned, or do they generally get assistance in any way?
I think the tourism department does help out. Barry, what does tourism provide for you?
I think they provide some advertising. I think over the last 2 years, I think they did a billboard going into Middleton on Highway 14, I believe. Yeah, that's what it was. So
You
yeah.
might still want to check in because of the new addition. So I'm not
Yeah.
saying no to a little bit more. I
Right.
think your additional activities is interesting. And I appreciate that you're trying to bring in new people with new ideas, or well, old ideas that are new again. But they might also be able to take a second look at that. If Abby, did you say the line budget is 5,500 and it's Strolling, it's 2,000 usually?
The
They-
total line annually is 7,500. And for the last 2 years, you provided 2,000 for Art Walk, 2,000 for Mustard Day, 2,000 for Strollin, and then the remaining 1,500 was for smaller events, like the
Like the
holiday tree
summer.
lighting. Yeah,
Yeah,
or lower cost events, I guess I should say. Yeah.
right. Okay. Anybody have a thought? I guess one of the thoughts we could have is to do what we've done in the past and then see if we could follow up. You know, if Sterling doesn't need the money or if they don't need as much. But if we are limited at that 2,000 because this budget is small, Barry, maybe you and I can talk offline. I do donate to nonprofits. So I just offline, I can talk to you and make a
Sure.
personal connection.
Mhm. By the way, I guess last year and I think the year before, there was a shortage of hotel rooms because of Ironman or something like that, which is no longer that weekend. So that will free up a lot of hotel rooms, and I'm expecting that we will fill them because the Mustard Family Reunion, I think, would be very popular. I know that Alan Mustard, the ambassador, the retired ambassador, is very excited about it, and he has many relatives who are also named Mustard.
Barry, was the mustard days usually in September? Is that
No,
why?
it's always the
Oh.
first Saturday in August.
Okay, so there must have been something else because Ironman is always after Labor Day in September. So it
Well,
must have been.
there's something, there was something that was going on. Maybe it wasn't Ironman or it was something
Hmm.
else. But for the last 2 years at least, there were just no hotel rooms for people. And
Yeah.
now, whatever that event is or was, is no longer taking place that weekend. So I think we'll
It's
be
cross.
clear.
Yeah,
That's the
CrossFit.
track.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, last year CrossFit Games was conflicting with Mustard Day.
Yeah.
Oh, what was it?
It was the CrossFit Games.
Oh, CrossFit Games, right.
Yep. And they're not coming back to Madison.
All right, well, instead of just waiting, I'm gonna say, given our limited budget, I'm gonna move that we stick with the $2,000 donation. And if Strollin doesn't ask for any donation or asks for less, I propose that we can revisit this. If possible, that's my motion.
I'd second that.
All those in favor of approving the $2,000 with the option to to follow up if budget remains, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That's a big help. It really is.
Barry, I was gonna tell you before you get off that you don't need to give me all your package of receipts like you did last year and like you've done previously, because this isn't a matching, this is just a $2,000 grant now. So we
Okay.
just would send you, we can just get the check ready for you, but you don't need to worry about putting together all the receipts or anything.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us and good luck with your Mustard Day Festival
Thank you.
as well as the reunion. We can't wait to hear all about it as part of social media. And we do have the new sign on the highway that's doing some free announcements, just so you know, once a week or one a week. And I think the Mustard Days is on the calendar. So tourism might be doing a different sign, but this one's going to be on the highway or the Beltline. And then with that, everyone, thank you for joining. And Katie, we made it. My battery's at 1%. So have a great night, everyone. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Bye all, thank you.
Hasta la mustard.
See you, Barry.